Good morning, America. This is your USA Morning News update for Saturday, January 31st, 2026. I'm your anchor, presenting the day's developments in a calm, professional tone. We begin with the weather, as the powerful new storm system is now bearing down on the East Coast following the extensive impacts of the recent major winter event. The January winter storm that affected vast areas from the southwest through the south, midwest, and northeast has left lingering challenges, with recovery ongoing in many communities. That system brought heavy snow, damaging ice, and extreme cold, resulting in widespread power outages, travel disruptions, and a rising number of weather-related fatalities. Southern states like Tennessee, Mississippi, and Louisiana continue dealing with ice damage and slow restoration of electricity, while northern regions face deep snow and persistent frigid temperatures. Now, forecasters are closely tracking a rapidly intensifying low-pressure system, potentially developing into a bomb cyclone or nor'easter, moving toward the East Coast. This could deliver heavy snow, strong winds, coastal flooding, and blizzard-like conditions in parts of the mid-Atlantic, northeast, and even some southeast areas less accustomed to such wintry weather. Impacts may include howling gusts, reduced visibility, and hazardous travel starting later today into tomorrow. Residents along the affected corridor should prepare for possible significant accumulations, especially in higher elevations and coastal zones. These evolving conditions are heightening travel and safety concerns. Airports in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic are bracing for disruptions with potential cancellations and delays as the storm approaches. Highways could become treacherous with accumulating snow and ice, particularly where winds create blowing snow. In areas still recovering from the prior storm, combined effects could strain emergency resources further. Officials recommend limiting travel if possible, stocking essentials, monitoring local alerts, and protecting against the cold with proper heating and precautions against pipe freezes. Emergency services continue responding to incidents tied to the earlier cold snap and are gearing up for the incoming system. In markets and business contexts, stocks closed lower yesterday to cap a volatile month, though major indexes posted modest gains overall for January. The S&P 500 dipped modestly, the Dow fell slightly, and the Nasdaq saw a more pronounced pullback. The moves followed President Trump's announcement of nominating Kevin Warsh as the next Federal Reserve Chair, replacing Jerome Powell, which influenced sentiment around future monetary policy. Investors also reacted to shifts in precious metals, with silver and gold declining sharply after a recent rally. Broader economic discussions focus on inflation data and corporate adjustments in a shifting landscape. Our major USA headlines this morning center on several key developments. A partial government shutdown is underway after Congress failed to fully resolve funding before the deadline, primarily affecting the Department of Homeland Security amid disputes over immigration enforcement reforms. Senate Democrats and the administration reached a deal to fund most agencies through September, while providing a short-term extension for DHS to allow negotiations on agent protocols following recent fatal incidents in Minneapolis. The House, returning from recess, is expected to act soon, but some operations have paused. Protests against ICE, operations, and immigration tactics expanded nationwide yesterday in what organizers termed a national shutdown, with participants in numerous cities walking out of work and school, blocking traffic, and rallying to demand accountability after the deaths of Alex Preddy and Renee Good in Minnesota. Demonstrations included large gatherings in places like New York, Los Angeles, and Minneapolis, reflecting widespread concern over federal enforcement practices. The Department of Justice has launched a civil rights investigation into the fatal shooting of Alex Preddy by federal agents during a traffic stop in Minneapolis, with body camera footage under review. This follows separate scrutiny of another incident involving Renee Good, amplifying calls for changes at DHS. Former CNN journalist Don Lemon was arrested during coverage of a church protest related to immigration enforcement, but has since been released, drawing attention to tensions around demonstrations. Additional Epstein-related documents, millions of pages, videos, and images were released by the Department of Justice, continuing public interest in the case with new revelations about connections and historical details. In other developments, President Trump signed executive orders and memoranda directing withdrawals from various international organizations deemed contrary to U.S. interests, building on earlier actions. On viral and trending USA stories, social media reflects intense engagement with the protests and shutdown discussions, including videos of marches, personal accounts of participation, and debates over immigration policy, some expressing support for enforcement, others highlighting humanitarian concerns. The incoming East Coast storm is generating shares of preparation tips, live updates, and dramatic forecasts. Lighter trends include nostalgic throwbacks and creative mashups circulating wildly, providing moments of levity amid serious national conversations. Internationally, tensions persist in the Middle East, with Iran conducting naval drills near U.S. warships, while diplomatic shifts show some U.S. allies engaging more closely with China amid trade uncertainties. In Venezuela, reactions continue to recent U.S.-related developments following leadership changes there. Broader global notes include ongoing concerns in other regions and high-level meetings. That concludes our USA Morning News update for today. With weather threats and national events unfolding, please stay safe and check local sources. We'll return with more as the day progresses. Thank you for joining us.